guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you all a full review of the Kvd Good Apple Concealer. I've been trying this for a week now, so I feel comfortable sharing my thoughts with you guys. I wanted to make sure that I had worn it long enough to feel comfortable doing that. I didn't want this to be a first impressions. I wanted it to be like a full-blown review. I will also be inserting a lot of clips into this video, which isn't something I typically do, but I want to take the time to do like individual shots of the product and the doe foot applicator so that you guys can see that all more up close and personal. So yeah, if you're new here, hi, my name is Megan. Be sure to subscribe before you leave, and if you guys like this video, of course, give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel. And yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into this review. So like I mentioned, we're reviewing the Kvd Good Apple Concealer. This is a newer launch for them. I think by the time this goes up, it's been out for about 3 weeks. Looking at the swatches, I was really torn on what shade to get because, and I'll insert a photo here, everything appeared to be pretty yellowy or pink, and I was like, I don't really know if any of those are going to work for me, which I was super bummed about because if you've been here, then you know I'm in the market for a new Holy Grail concealer, and I was really hoping that this would be it. But the swatches just had me like super bummed out. So what I did is Kvd created a page. It's called like Kvd Shade Finder. And I messaged that page and I was like, you know, I'm really interested in the concealer, but I'm really just unsure of what shade is going to work for me. So they had me send them a photo of me and like natural lighting, what my concerns were, blah, blah, blah. I did all of that. They sent back about 3 shades, and then we continued to discuss in the DMs to try to figure out what shade would work best for me. We ended up landing on shade 119 Light. And at this point, I was still kind of concerned that it wasn't going to work for me. I was afraid it was going to pull too yellow. So, you know, but they said, you know, 119 should work for you. And I was like, okay. And then they sent me a 20% off coupon and a free shipping coupon. I don't know if that happens every time that you chat with the shade finder over on that page, but if it does, that's a good thing to know. So this retails for $28. By the time I used my free shipping coupon and the 20% off coupon, I ended up paying $22 for it, which I was really happy with because that's a really fair price in my opinion for a good concealer. So I was really excited to get this in. My first impressions of the packaging, like I thought it looked super satisfying online and I was really into it. However, when I received it, I thought it would be heavier. Like, I don't know. I felt like all the marketing online made it look more luxurious. So I'm not saying that it's not luxury. Well, I am saying that. The packaging isn't as luxe as I thought it would be. I just thought it would be, there'd be more weight to the packaging. But it's like super, you know, lightweight and like, I don't want to say cheap, but it's just not what I thought it would be after seeing all the marketing. So I was kind of like, oh, this is interesting. But yeah, so that was like my first impression kind of the product. And then when I started applying it to my eyes, which I will insert footage of me doing, I was super nervous because I don't know if it'll pull as yellow on camera as it does in person. But when I first applied this on my under eyes, it, like when I did the dots, it looked so yellow. I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a huge mistake. Like, no, I was so freaking worried, you guys. But it was really interesting because then when I started to blend it out and it set, like it actually ended up being a really light shade, almost to the point where it's too brightening for my typical preference. Like I usually try to match it a little bit more to my skin tone, and this was like super brightening. So I feel like this shade is actually going to be too light for me in the summertime, but for the winter, it's really nice. And I was just so like surprised at how the product acted from going on and appearing to be yellow to completely, you know, neutralizing out and being brightening. Because if you're new here, I have a neutral undertone, which if you're a neutral undertone gal, you know that shit is hard. And that's why I was really worried it would pull weird, because most concealers do. But yeah, it like neutralized out, and it was so interesting. I was like shooketh. In the slide that I insert, I do one eye with you guys with a corrector and one eye without the corrector. In the eye with the corrector, I think that it just looks more brightening. I don't really think that it's necessary, because I thought on first application, I was like, oh man, like this isn't a lot of coverage because of the way it blends out, but the way it dries down, you do get a decent amount of coverage, but it's not heavy, it's not cakey, it doesn't feel like weighted under your under eyes. So if you want something that feels less weighted, then I would skip the concealer or the corrector if you don't feel like you need it, because the eye that I don't have the corrector under, like it feels like I'm wearing nothing. But like literally the coverage is still good. Like it doesn't, you can't see my dark circles or anything like that. So I definitely think that the coverage is medium to full. If you're someone who likes a really hydrating thick concealer, then you probably won't like this. The consistency is on the thinner side, but you still get the coverage. I personally enjoy the dry down because it's that nice in between of like when you're right between like a creamy concealer and a drying concealer. It's like that perfect in the middle, which is my ideal concealer for my under eyes. I do have, you know, fine lines and whatnot, so if I get something too creamy, it's so creasy on me, and if I get something too drying, I feel like my under eyes just are gonna rip off. So this was like the perfect in between. I did not set this with any powder or anything. I don't set my under eyes with powder because it creates more creasing for me. So yeah, I didn't set it with powder or anything, and I found this to be really long wearing. I usually have my makeup on for at least 12 hours, 12 to 14 hours. And I didn't experience it like peeling off or any creasing or caking or gunking up or anything. Like obviously if you have fine lines, you know the difference between like, yeah, I have concealer on and these are my fine lines, and wow, this is creasing so bad. Like you know the difference. But it did not crease, and it still looked good. It held the coverage. My under eyes felt great all day. Yeah, I really, really like it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to make sure that I included for you guys. I think that the Dofa applicator is really unique, and I like it. Honestly, it's really like cushiony. It's not like sharp or hard. It allows you to get up in that inner corner better if that's your preference to get up there. But yeah, I really like this product, and I can definitely see myself repurchasing it. I like it better than, you know, I like it way better than the Kosas one or the Tarte one, or I think I also like it better than the Dose of Concealers one. Dose of Concealers, Dose of Colors, lol. But I think that this might be moving into my new holy grail spot. I definitely want to keep trying it out for a few more weeks before I make that like official decision. But I really just love the way it applies, the way it wears. There is no scent, which is great. I think that the price point is totally fair. I love that it is, you know, going to be available at Ulta because better point system. But I also love that KVD came out with the Shade Finder page, because I think that could be beneficial if you're wanting to try any of their shade stuff, you know, like foundation or whatnot. And it was pretty cool that they sent a coupon as well. But yeah, I think that those are all my thoughts on it. If there's something that I missed and you guys want to know about this concealer, just drop it in the comments and I'm more than happy to try my best to answer it. But yeah, that is all for today's review. I hope that this was helpful for you guys in your decision if you want to pick this up or not, or if you were just curious in general. I hope that it was helpful, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!